The Coin Lady channel is pleased to have you back. This is not a one-day chart, we will be discussing XRP. Currently, we are at a little under 55 cents. Although XRP had a successful green day, the current chart resembles Bitcoin's. One positive aspect of this is that Bitcoin Maxis has recently predicted that Bitcoin prices will surpass 60,000. By the weekend's conclusion, they're going to be incredibly enthusiastic about Bitcoin. And if that were to occur, XRP would be dragged down with it. Thus, in order to revive XRP as well, fleece up 80%. Here's hoping it all works out. Many of you have been nagging me in the comments for the past 30 days to make a film on Flare, so I finally gave in. I used to make videos on Flare, you know. Also, if you revisit those videos and read the comments, you'll see that Flare was all the rage at the time. This coin is likely to have a huge future, as I mentioned before. And the general public views it as nothing more than a fake coin. Flutter is useless, and I don't even have airdrop. It's going up for sale. That was, without a doubt, the gravest error you could have committed. In Flare's opinion, this is meaningless. A tremendous network is coming together around it, and it will be enormous, as I mentioned before. However, whenever I get the opportunity to do it properly, I will provide a comprehensive film on Flare. We could expect to see progress next RP, thanks to Blair's bill on the XRP ledger. In the near future, when Flare's XRP side of it becomes more developed and used, TexRP will also benefit from its upcoming Flare. A lot of cryptocurrencies, including Dogecoin, will get used for the first time as a result. I could tell straight away that Flare was pumping, so it's great to see it. In my opinion, this cryptocurrency is going to be a huge success. People should simply hold their Flare, wait it out, and give it some time, I kept telling them. Take a look at where we are now and where the market goes from here. Right now we have this, from Chad Stein's Grabber. He discusses the possibility of XRP reaching $20,000 in a lengthy thread, of which this is a part. However, if you scour that enormous thread, you'll find a wealth of material that reveals potential XRP developments, such as the ETF's impact on price hikes and the fact that public exchanges carry XRP. There has been a lot of selling happening in the Bitcoin market recently, and BlackRock is buying up XRP at an alarming rate. This is because the ETF fund purchases XRP from the public and locks it up to derivative shares, which are sold to the majority of the public. As a result, the supply drops, demand increases, and the price has no choice but to go up. Unfortunately, the market isn't responding as expected at the moment. For XRP, the situation may be different. I couldn't have cared less whether there was an ETF. In any case, I feel more certain about the practicality of XRP if we obtain an ETF. These ETFs, rather than XRP itself, will attract the vast majority of global investors, including governments and institutional investors. They plan to hold on to their investments for decades, if not forever, or pass them down through the generations. For a very long time before selling their assets, these people will subsist only on interest payments. In fact, that ought to be your goal as well. Hold on to your XRP and enjoy the interest as you go. Get that passive income. You know, XRP will easily generate monthly money once it reaches those high levels that everyone is expecting, but you'll have to be patient until then. I maintain my belief that it is prudent to take a profit anytime you come across a price that you are comfortable with. Reason being, you'll be able to maintain your composure till the whole thing is constructed. Because that's when the true value of XRP will be realized. The Mona Lisa, as an example of a third limited asset, is highly desirable due to its uniqueness and the fact that it is possible to create replicas, or derivatives. Nevertheless, further also, as the Mona Lisa states, we put a high value on it due to its societal importance. Once XRP is involved in the derivatives market, its value is in our minds. Everything is going to be accomplished at a breakneck pace, therefore the sky is the limit. Furthermore, ripples are already beginning to move in that direction. However, some argue that XRP's price would have skyrocketed long ago if Ripple had successfully cornered the derivatives market. However, the derivatives market also requires regulation. Similar to an auction when numerous individuals vie for a small number of items that may or may not be owned by any one person, scarcity is a component of supply and demand. While this may increase value, it will eventually come to a halt if no one else is prepared to pay that premium. As I've mentioned before, there will be purchasers at various price points. However, $10 will still attract buyers until XRP reaches whatever future value it reaches. Prices above $100 will attract buyers. However, there are many who make the mistake of assuming that if XRP reaches $1, no one will be interested in buying it. They will absolutely desire it. Worry about missing out starts at that point. No one is really sure when the fear of missing out, FOMO, will die down. Although the starting price will be $1. That's why I can't stop reminding you how fortunate you are to have gotten in early. The need for confidentiality by financial institutions is not going away. So that you may do business and make loans without worrying about prying eyes, rest assured that no bank in the world will ever make their internal ledger transactions public. Consider this. Tell me what the bank needs from you. When you visit the branch to establish a bank account, information such as your social security number and proof of identity will be required whenever you apply for a loan. The banks prefer a private ledger over the public one for XRP because it keeps your data secure and prevents unauthorized parties from accessing it. The fact that there are no two prices has been clarified by David Schwartz on several occasions. To XRP, neither the public nor the private ledger changes the pricing. This is the first time I've ever heard anyone at Germany's Frankfurt Stock Exchange suggest that XRP might function as a bridge currency for global reserves. Upon the official adoption of CBDCs by central banks. If he is correct, Ripple has the potential to become the de facto reserve bridge currency of the global community. I believe he was referring to XRP. I mean, perhaps we're misinterpreting XRP. It will act as the global bridge currency, thus it doesn't need to be a reserve currency, but wouldn't XRP function as a global currency after you've bridged all the world's money? After all, anything can be transacted through it. However, it will be incredibly huge. Whenever it occurs, there are various angles from which to see it. You may say it's the bridge currency of the world or the reserve money of the world. What will happen with Ripple, though, is obvious to everyone. Everyone employed by a national bank. When these nations collaborate on something, they all know where it's going, the BIS, the IMF, and the World Economic Forum, but retail believes this is completely impossible. However, they have been predicting its arrival for quite some time. Study the history of the world's reserve currency. The US dollar is obsolete, the world needs a new reserve currency. It has completed its timeline. The moment has come for a change to occur. I believe even America is aware of that. Because they anticipate the introduction of a new currency, they are unconcerned about our mounting debt and their excessive spending. We will soon be resetting. A monetary system shift is imminent. For that reason, the loan is of little concern to them. Additionally, each time the debt ceiling needs to be raised, it happens there. They have already decided to do it, but they need to create excitement, had a storyline about it in every major news outlet, and then, just as the government is about to shut down, a bill to spend additional trillions of dollars is passed. It occurs without fail. As for Russia, therefore, Russia is exploring options other than DFAS for settling cross-border transactions, such as digital currency, CBDC, cryptocurrency, and the central bank. There was a time and a place for the sanctions we imposed on Russia, in my opinion. Consider it for a moment because of this. What will Russia do now that we've sanctioned them? These days, they're trying to get cryptocurrencies and CBDC to function inside the trade. Now that they're moving at a breakneck pace, it provides the US even more justification to do the same, and it offers Europe yet additional justification to do the same. After all, we need to catch up to Russia, which is currently lagging far behind. That's why I mentioned that they plan to introduce the digital dollar in 2024. Work on a unified currency has been formally launched by the BRICS. Additionally, in 2024, the US dollar will be the denominating currency. And yet again, China is light years ahead of everyone else. Nobody can stop raving about how we managed to outpace China's exploring doesn't harm a source whip or muttered to business standard, but hey, we're sticking to our guns. A rumor has been circulating that the top brass of the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, might be the masterminds behind this scheme. However, RBI has their mouths firmly locked, so no one knows who the real puppet master is. Until they're prepared, maybe for the next break showdown, India is keeping a low profile and refusing to let anyone in. Until then, it is anyone's guess whether they approve or reject this notion for a global tender. I said in yesterday's video that Ripple is already embedded in BRICS. Thus, when they implement this new currency, Ripples will transfer XRP to incorporate it into the BRICS, along with value tax or PII. We become wealthy in precisely this way. Cruz plans to present a bill to outlaw CBDCs in the US Senate. Once again, I have a theory regarding this, and I believe they're making a mistake. A recent Fox Business report states that legislation opposing the Federal Reserve's authority to establish a CBDC is allegedly being introduced by senators in the United States. Restrictions on the creation of digital dollars are being tightened in the run-up to the 2024 presidential election, according to Notes sources, which identifies Ted Cruz of Texas as the leading Republican senator. I already mentioned that they are attempting to expedite it in the time leading up to the election. For that reason, the Federal Reserve has been secretly engaging with this government. Let me tell you about the issue. Oh, I get it, legislation against the Federal Reserve is being considered by them. This CBDC, though, I believe the Treasury is going to declare. The Federal Reserve is not involved. Because the Federal Reserve is not an arm of the US government, I have repeatedly said in several films that the Fed is trying to shift power to the Treasury. Accordingly, the introduction of a digital currency within the US is more likely to pass Congress if Janet Yellen endorses it. The Treasury is where their attention should be directed, in my opinion. This is troubling now. The cybersecurity solutions provider Palo Alto Networks Incorporated, which Nancy Pelosi has invested in, has a $1.25 million call option. Tell me what she knows that we don't. Klaus Schwab warned of an impending catastrophic cyber attack, so keep that in mind. On top of that, the timing of all this is somewhat peculiar. Billionaires are liquidating their holdings and constructing bunkers. Delegate Pelosi is putting her whole faith in a cybersecurity solution provider. Things are heating up, but I still believe they're planning to attempt to announce a CBDC victory in the 2024 election. How do you feel about that? Post it in the space provided below. Be that as it may, seeing. There will also be a green day for XRP. We can only hope that the Bitcoin maxes are correct. And crypto is having a terrific week overall. But till then, keep your optimism and patience, and let's amass wealth together. That being said, I will now conclude this video. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. You all mean a lot to me. Do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. Muchas gracias, depart.